What's up, nasties? Happy game day. Oilers, Jets, 8 o'clock. It's Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, Zachticum behind the camera. Welcome to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. We're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west end of the city. And it's game day. It's gonna be a lot of Oilers on this show. It's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna break it all down and set you up. And then following our show, it's another 3 hours with Reed Wilkins and Jay Millen. And then we got the pregame show at 7 o'clock, followed by the postgame show. A full day here, Edmonton Oilers coverage as they embark on a journey and see if they can return to the Stanley Cup and win the Stanley Cup. So it's going to be a fun show. Like always, hit us up on the Nasty Chat on YouTube or text us at 780-218-9999. Fun show coming up today. Sara Orlesky from Winnipeg Jets TV, producer and host there. She'll join us at 1:20 to get the Jets side of things as they prepare for their season opener as well. Oilers predictions at 2 at 1:40. Hernan's World. It's going to be a fun one. And at 2:20, YouTube Trev. And someone's angry at YouTube Trev right now. And that's my co-host, Gager.
Yeah, he basically poo-pooed in my cornflakes this morning with what he said regarding one Stuart Skinner. So we'll have to have a slight discussion with YouTube Trev.
Are you a Donaire guy?
No.
Okay.
Once in a while, right? Like it's
too heavy, man.
Oh my gosh. You don't when I order one, it's like I want one really bad. And it's usually like once every year. And same with blizzards. It's like once a year. And I'll go, this is amazing. This is so good. I'm getting another one for sure. And then once I'm done, I'm like, never again. It's like those nights when you drink too much. And you just go never again, but you're having so much fun at the time. So I have to say I'm kind of coming around to a time where I do need to try another Donaire. So I will try one and I'll see. But what is it, 4 in a week? What is this guy, a maniac?
Yeah, we got to talk about his Donaire issues here because that's too much.
Well, he didn't. He had the stomach issues when he got here. He's put on 50 pounds, but we gotta cool it here, Trev. We got a lot of years left. A little bit more heart smart. 4 Donaires in a week, and I know you're young and your body can handle that stuff. But let me tell you, you get to my age, and you can't be putting down four Donaires in a week. That'll clog you up mighty.
And Dusty tried his first score blizzard. Those are legendary. I'm surprised it took. Well, I'm not surprised it took him this long to try one. But
he is very particular about what his culinary palate is limited at best.
Yes,
but he's getting a little bit more adventurous. I've always wanted to have a segment on the show. What will Dusty try? And not knowing, blindfolded, and see what happens. I think there's something there. But I'm glad the big man's expanding his blizzard palate at least. I've always been I was a crispy crunch guy before.
Okay.
And then I went to my go-to is always, and they'll make it for you. I when I go to DQ and do get my once a year blizzard, it seems like too, is the cappuccino score.
Oh,
it is so good.
I like the Reese's as well. The cheesecake one's good, but the score is my go-to. I think it's fantastic. This one says here, where'd it go? Lars says, intervention time, boys. We're going to have to bring YouTube Trev in here and sit him around and say, you got to stop eating so many damn Donaires. But, Gager, we got a big game.
We do? Who's playing?
The story of today, I guess, Skinner's going to play with Arvidsson and Draisaitl. It's McDavid, Hyman, and Nuge. Third line, Enrique, Brown, and Janmark, and then Podkolzin with Perry and Ryan. Defensively, Nurse with Emberson, which is going to be probably the most watched pair in the history of the Edmonton Oilers. Your top pair of Ekholm and Bouchard. And then a little bit surprised by this, but Kulak's going to be partnered with Travis Dermott instead of Troy Stecher. Why doesn't Troy Stecher get a run here with the Oilers?
Quite frankly, I think that Dermott outplayed him in preseason.
Okay, fair enough.
I think he earned it. We were all talking about him. I'm trying to think, was it because he didn't have a contract that I was more impressed with him or not? I know he was he -3 the last game, but no, I over the whole preseason, I thought Dermott was, I think we all had across EST saying that, look, they got to sign this guy.
Yeah.
With what was happening with Brown, obviously, and no one really jumping up and grabbing that spot that was available.
Mm-hmm.
I just think with everyone, and this is probably sentiment across the city of Edmonton, that, yeah, this Dermott kid's come in and played quite well. No reason he shouldn't start.
Yeah, this one says from Zedmo, did Eberson outplay him? I think they were all pretty even. I think Eberson, you didn't notice him much, which is a good thing. So, yeah, for sure.
You think so?
I mean, if he did outbeat the Stetcher and Dermott, it wasn't by a lot.
Again, we discussed at length that the biggest letdown of the preseason was no one really establishing themselves as the for sure guy that was going to play with Nurse, right? And Emerson was kind of the de facto player that was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you would have liked to have seen a little bit more competition going, who is, let's just say this, Oilers fans probably would have liked to have said, I don't know who's going to play with Nurse because all these guys are playing so well. I think that's where they wanted to be.
Yeah.
And look, last night doesn't help either.
No. Well, elaborate on that.
Well, you have Philip Broberg playing over 20 minutes and Holloway, I think it was 16 something. So Dusty alluded to it this morning, and looking at the left side of the St. Louis Blues, it's understandable why Dylan Holloway was on the top line. It's pretty bare over on that side, so
yeah,
makes sense. But I think the fact that, and I mean, we watched a little bit of it. It looked like Broberg was, not that he wasn't here, and this is just subtle observations, but when he was on the bench with Falk, he was really like listening to Falk and talk, like they were really communicating off the ice, and that was encouraging to me for Broberg. Like he wants to do well. Look, this guy can skate like the wind, and I think his skating ability it is his biggest asset, but it is only one game.
Yeah, and it was fun because you called me. We had just left headquarters, and you're like, Broberg's hurt. And then I text you back the phone, and Holloway got an assist. I'm like, this is the worst thing for Edmonton Oilers fans because you see the overreaction on the X machine, and it was a little bit ridiculous. Like, let's pump the brakes. It was one game. Hey, good on them. They played well. They picked up the win. But let's talk after 82 games and see where Broberg and Holloway. And listen, I hope they do well. They're good players, man. And
good guys, good players. Yeah,
they didn't screw anybody over.
No,
they did what any team would do.
What any person
would do.
Speaking of people doing something, we're at 25 thumbs up. It's opening night. I think we can get up to 100 here. If you have some time, just hit that thumbs up for us. We'd really appreciate it.
I was going to say this. If we get 100 likes by the second segment, we'll do the keyword. If we get 100 likes by the third segment, we'll do the keyword then. But only then. 100 thumbs up. How about that, Gager? It's opening night.
And if you win, I'll bring the tickets to you personally.
You'll be going with Gager on the trip.
I'll bring that backpack that fits me in there.
One of the biggest overreactions was Raphael Lavoie left to Vegas. He's back with the Edmonton Oilers. They claimed him. Sure, Bakersfield.
Oof. I'd love to talk to him, but he's probably in no mood to be spoken to right now. Just
you think
that
so?
world of yeah, it's a whirlwind of emotions, man. This guy has been trying to make this team for a long time. Finally, knowing that he's not going to make it this year with the log jam, and then going to a different organization. Not only a different organization, but another team that can, you have to say that their chances of winning are still in their window. Mm-hmm. So he has an opportunity to be successful. And then just that falling through, and then Edmonton picking him back up with the ability to go straight. So he's been on a roller coaster.
See, I see it the other way. I think he'll be happy because he's like, I'm back where I want to be. I'm back where I might get an opportunity later in the season or next season. I'm going to play in Bakersfield where I know the guys. Do you know what I mean?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
What was I gonna ask you? I was gonna ask you about. Oh, what did you make of Kane going on LTIR? Does that mean they're looking to make a move a lot sooner than they anticipated?
I think they're just keeping their options open, right? If they have to. I think that was the decision there.
Yeah, and if you didn't hear, obviously Travis Dermott signed a 1-year, 2-way contract yesterday with an AAV of $775K, and he will play tonight with Mr. Brett Kulak. Do you guys know what number was Dermott wearing?
No idea.
I can't remember. Do you remember
Zach?
No. Zach, you're a stats guru. How do you not know that?
Because I haven't watched preseason.
Was it 24?
At least he's honest.
24, I think. Someone will know. Someone will know. What did you make of the Utah?
Cool opening. I mean, it's always neat to see it's almost like an expansion team, right?
Yeah,
Because
cool.
everyone's so new, and you got the Moose and PK Subban with the plunging neckline shirt. There was a spectacle. Let's just say that last night.
How about their 46-year-old owner, man? What a life, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith, I know.
Ryan
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah.
A billionaire, owns the Utah Jazz. I was going to call the hockey team the Jazz. I'm like, wait, that's not their name.
Yeah.
It's Utah.
It looked nice there, like that outdoor view of Utah. That's it looked beautiful with the mountains in the back. Look, I said yesterday, I think that the main reason that the move was enforced at the end of last season was this Utah team is on the verge, and the NHL was not going to allow playoff games being held in a 5,000 seat arena, and I think that's why it was pushed up. If they sucked last year, they probably still be playing in Moulet Arena there. I think the Utah Hockey Club is for real. I think there's a really good chance that they're in the playoff picture this year.
And what a start for my breakout player selection of Dylan Gunther. A great first goal. Just what a snap there, eh? A snipe. And Zachticum, did you watch the Utah game? What were your first impressions there with Spicy Tuna?
Well, Spicy Tuna, of course, Liam O'Brien of the Utah Hockey Club. I thought it was a great showing. Like, the fans were there just hollering and hooting. A sold-out arena, I believe the Delta Center it's called, but home of the Jazz as well. I thought the team played very well, and I love to see the support of the fan base. Like, the one thing that I didn't like about that game is how the fans in the stands were saying, "We want the cup." Get a name first. Like, come on.
They don't know any better. You gotta allow them to just I mean, why wouldn't they? They think they're any team that comes in now thinks they're probably going to win the cup just because of what Vegas
did.
They went right to it, right? Yeah. So, and why not? Although this team's been established for a long time, they do feel like an expansion team. So, I like it. I like that it, from all accounts, and there's been hockey in Utah before, like in Salt Lake, right? So they're not complete. Not completely foreign to everything. They know the game a little bit. So I'd like for them to do well and have another really good hockey market in the U.S.
Oh, for sure. I thought it was great, and for them to pick up that first win, Chicago looked just okay in my eyes. No, it's one game. We're not going to.
They were terrible.
Yeah, defensively they weren't very good. I thought Mrazek was decent in that game, and then what were the other games? St. Louis, Kraken, and then Florida looks like they haven't missed a step, man. Yeah. They took it to the Bruins.
Yeah, a 2-game winning streak for Florida. It's, I mean, Chicago. Even the first, was it the first goal or second goal? Just their fourth line supposed to be responsible. Someone tried a backhand sauce between someone's leg just inside the blue line. Of course, it's going to end up in the back of the net. I love Luke Richardson. He was a teammate of mine, but this team, I just think that there was too much emphasis on Connor Bedard just going nuts. Like, they have to play defense, man. They can't be trying to outscore their problems with that team. and they just don't look good on the defensive side of the puck.
No, they do not. They do not. But we got much more Edmonton Oilers talk coming, of course, as they open up their season at 8 o'clock against the Winnipeg Jets. YouTube Trev will join us at 2:20, 2 o'clock, Oilers prediction, 1:40, Hernan Salas. And coming up next, Sara Orlesky, a host and producer for the Winnipeg Jets. She'll join us to give us a little bit of a primer on this Jets team that looks pretty good. We were going through their lines earlier before we were on air prepping. They'll go with Connor, Scheifele, Velarde, first line, second line, Perfetti, Nemesnikov, and Ehlers. Niederreiter, Lowry, Appleton, their third line, and Barron, Kupari, and Iafallo, their fourth line. Defensively, Morrissey, DeMello, Sandberg with Pionk, and Fleury with Miller. So it's going to be a good test for the Edmonton Oilers. But we'll talk all things Winnipeg Jets next with Sara Orlesky here on EST Afternoons. We're at, what are our thumbs up before we get to, not YouTube, Trev, we get to Zach, 46.
Oh,
guys, let's get
nice.
to 100 and we'll do the keywords. So keep those, keep hammering the thumbs up. Up next, Sara Orlesky. But first, here is Zachticum with a sports update.
Raphael Lavoie has been reclaimed off waivers by the Edmonton Oilers after Vegas put him back on the wire yesterday. In their season opener, the Oilers play the Jets, and you can tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, of course, at 7 o'clock. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Elsewhere, it's the Maple Leafs and Canadiens. Canucks hosting the Flames. Rangers seeing Crosby in the Pens before McKinnon and the Avs take on the Golden Knights. In the NFL, Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce has named Aiden O'Connell as the starter this week, placing Garner Minshew on the bench. MLB playoff action has the Guardians visiting the Tigers before the Phillies look to push a Game 5 against the Mets. Ohtani and his Dodgers then meet the Padres while the Yankees battle the Royals. Right after the break, Sara Orlesky from Winnipeg Jets TV join Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for two, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
It's 1:23 Wednesday afternoon. Welcome to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, and Zachticum behind the camera. Reminder, the EST Flyaway to LA is coming to you shortly. It all depends on the thumbs up. Of course, it's presented by the 780. The Edmonton Oilers opponent tonight, the Winnipeg Jets. And to talk all things Winnipeg Jets, we're pleased to bring into the show Sara Orlesky, senior host and producer for the Winnipeg Jets. Sara, it's so great to see you. It's been quite a while. Yeah, always great. Sara, this game tonight, we were just going through the Winnipeg Jets line. What's kind of the view and the vibe with this Winnipeg Jets team this season?
I think that there's a lot of excitement. I think a lot of possibility, maybe cautiously optimistic is the way that some people would describe it. I think that a lot of people forget, because there was no big splash in free agency this year, that you forget about the core that they had and the success that the Winnipeg Jets had last year, because so many people think about the quick exit. It didn't go well in the postseason for them against Colorado, done in 5 games. But you look at the success they had in the regular season, and they finished second they finished, with 110 points. They finished 4th in the NHL with it. And I think a lot of people forget about that. And so with the core group returning, Mark Scheifele, Connor Hellebuyck signed to their long-term deals that kicked into effect this season. Kyle Connor, with the success that he's had with 30-goal seasons. I mean, there's a lot to be, I think, optimistic about with this group, despite the fact that there wasn't a lot of changeover from the roster last season.
Sara, speaking of the good things about this team, and you mentioned getting the early exit or in 5 games to the Avs last year. What are the main areas of concern for the Winnipeg Jets going into this year? Obviously, I think they're a playoff team, but to me, anyways, seeing Connor Hellebuyck, who is just one of the top goaltenders in the league, I think they need to find a way. And look, I was a goaltender, and I know that it's tough, but they need to find a way to get him to the proper amount of games throughout the regular season that are going to allow him to have the type of success in the playoffs that he does have during the regular season. Do you see his kind of workload being pulled back a bit this year?
No. I mean, you never know. Maybe they'll surprise us. But no, I think that heavy workload will continue when it comes to it. If we didn't see it last year with Laurent Brossoit here, I don't expect to see it this upcoming season. You're going to see him play again in, over 60 games is what I'm expecting. Knock on wood, Connor Hellebuyck has been incredibly healthy throughout his career. So as long as he can play, that's what he wants to do. And when you have a 2-time Vezina winner in net, you're going to use that to your advantage. This team, the strength of this team, it starts in it and works its way out. So they will continue to rely heavily on Connor Hellebuyck. But when it comes to this team overall, I think the question marks are what people are excited to see about is not only who can elevate their game this season and maybe take that next step, which this team needs to see. But there's been a lot of talk this year about special teams early on. It was an area that was detrimental to them, plain and simple, in that series against Colorado. They struggled with the power play. They struggled on the PK as well. And that was something that we saw throughout the regular season too. And there's been a real emphasis on it throughout the preseason and training camp to be able to get things changed and to have more success with it. So I think that we saw some success in the preseason with their power play. They've moved Nikolai Ehlers around. He's in the bumper role right now. So that's gotten a lot of discussion and headlines here within this city about the success that he could have there and what that could mean for the first power play unit, because fans have been clamoring to see Nikolai Ehlers on it for a number of years. I don't put necessarily a lot of stock in what we see in preseason, the good or the bad, but I think that that's something that people are certainly going to be watching for as this season gets going. And in particular, I mean, when you're special teams, when you go up against the Edmonton Oilers, you want that PK to be operating at a high level and to be able to take advantage of any opportunities you might get with the man advantage.
Sara, defensively, you guys the Jets lost Dylan. Dylan Sandberg will play with Pionk tonight. Hayden Fleury's in there with Miller. When you're looking at this D-core, do you think they've taken a step back compared to what they had last year, or is Dylan Sandberg going to kind of fill that role that Dylan left?
Well, I mean, look, there's no doubt it's a loss to not have Brendan Dillon here for what he was able to provide, whether you're looking at 5-on-5, you're looking at the PK and that physical aspect that he was able to do. So it's a jump up for Sandberg, but this is something I think as well with the evolution of Sandberg's game as he gets older. He had a lot of success last year as a third pairing with Nate Schmidt, who also departed. He's down in Florida. He's down in Florida now. So we've seen some changes on it. This blue line, I don't think in its current incarnation is what they envisioned for to be. Colin Miller is back. He signed a 2-year deal back on July 1. He was acquired at the deadline last year from Jersey, and we didn't really get to see much of him in action. They didn't utilize him a ton. He's going to be on that right side on that third pairing. So maybe Colin Miller will provide a different look back there than what we've seen before. Guys are going to have to step up, though. And when you look at this Jets blue line, they have already had to deal with injuries. And you know, one of the things that you always, that cliche of next man up, well, that got implemented right away with this Jets team because it was only a couple days into camp, and Ville Heinola, who was expected to make that push and really I think most of us had him penciled in to become an NHL full-timer this year and play on that third pairing, suffered an ankle infection, and he's just awful luck for him. He missed last year because he fractured his foot in the preseason, and he had made the team last year. Doesn't get to be able to play. Then this ankle infection in the same ankle rears its head. So they've had to make adjustments already, but I think that it creates opportunities for others. And you know what? You never want to see anyone go down. Same with Logan Stanley. He's been sidelined too. So this blue line, I think, will continue to evolve as the season goes on, but I think that there's a lot of potential for it as well. And as soon as guys get their opportunity, we all know, I mean, it's what you do with it. And the Jets are certainly believe that these guys can step up and continue to elevate their game.
Sarah, Scott Arniel takes over as head coach. I mean, there were times during the regular season last year where he was the bench boss. For assistant coaches, sometimes they're the mediator or the go-between between player and head coach. How is his transition to and taking over, having a full training camp, and his kind of coaching message changed from being the assistant coach now to head coach?
Yeah, well, we saw him have success when he was in as the associate coach under Rick Bowness, and Rick Bowness on 2 different occasions had to step away from the team, and Scott was able to step in and have success. So players have, although it's obviously not the same as being the full-time head coach, players have had a sense of what he would be like as the bench boss in that role. And I think that there's a lot of respect between players and Scott. He has spoken about how he's continued to evolve as a coach. This is his second opportunity to be a head coach. Know that things didn't go the way that he wanted when in Columbus, but he's continued to work on his own development as a coach. And we've seen him have success in various stops, whether it be Washington, New York, here in Winnipeg too. And I think that he will, I think that he'll have success with them. I think that relationship will help, but I also think that he's a good communicator, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. I'm really happy that he has this opportunity. We know that everybody doesn't get the opportunity to be able to get back behind the bench, and this is an organization and a city that mean a lot to Scott Arniel, having played with Jets 1.0, and then also having made his home here. He married a Winnipeg woman when he was playing, and they've made their home here for 25, 26 years. So to me, it's a really great story. I really like what he's bringing to the table, and I think that he'll have the respect of the players to be able to help make the transition a smooth one.
Sarah, the Jets are in a tough division. The Central has got a lot of quality teams. Where do you see the Jets kind of finishing in that Central division? And is the pressure on now that they have to get out of that first round of the playoffs? Is that what matters now for Jets fans? I
think so. The expectations internally, I think are always to have as much success and go as deep into the postseason as you can, but they have to get over that hump. And it's been several first round exits for them. The most success that they've had was back in 2018 when they made it to the conference final and lost out against Vegas. And we haven't been able to see them replicate that and get that deep into the postseason. So they need to be able to do that this year in order to take that next step. But you mentioned, I mean, it's a tough division. Look, the Central Division, certainly it's always been, when you think back over the last, 8-10 years, it's always been a juggernaut, I think. And it hasn't changed with the changes that, say, Nashville made. And you look at even though I don't think Chicago will get in, the improvements that all of the teams have made. Dallas continues to be so strong. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the Jets can do. They have to, obviously, when we talk about the proverbial 4-point games, they really need to be able to capitalize on those this year. But this is a team, again, that has its core together, and they had success last year. So do I think they'll have regular season success? I do. Do I think that there is pressure on them to get out of that first round? Absolutely.
Sarah, our boss is Dustin Nielsen. You wanted us to say hi as
so
well.
Difficult. Such a difficult boss, you guys.
I know. What were we thinking? But I got to meet you on the sidelines when you were doing CFL. How much? I know you got a great gig now with the Winnipeg Jets, but did you sometimes miss the CFL?
Oh, all the time. Look, my love. I am a huge CFL fan. I never hide that. I love that league. I spent almost 20 years covering it. So I said, I used to always joke that I don't think, other than Richie Hall, I don't know if there were any coaches left in the league that I hadn't covered as a player. So it's when you know that you've been around for a while, but it's such a great league. I was really happy to see fans in return to watch Elks games, and disappointed to see that no Alberta team is going to be in the postseason this year. But I love that league. I love the people on the field, off the field. The fans are tremendous. It's a league unlike any other. So the great thing is that I can go now and watch games. I take my daughter to Bomber games all the time, but I certainly miss being down there and talking with the players and just the energy in the game, because it's a very special league.
You don't, Sarah, I just want to say I hated your last game because obviously I didn't use the Dyson because it got a little dusty in my front room watching that. But there's moments in sports that you always remember, and that was a really cool moment. And you saw the love and admiration from the fans and everyone. That was awesome. We do miss you on the sidelines, but we're glad you landed on your feet with the Jets.
Thanks. Yeah, it was, you know what, so that last game made me so uncomfortable because I hated being focused.
You and me both. I had to go to the bathroom.
I felt, because I've always believed that, the focus is always supposed to be about the games and the players and coaches, and it's never supposed to be about those of us that are in front of the camera. So to have that attention on me made me very uncomfortable. But it also, the outpouring of love that I received from fans, from teams and everything meant so much, because sometimes, you just, even though you go through it on a day-to-day basis and you're just covering the league and you develop these relationships, and I've always said, as soon as you leave, someone else does your job. We're not, we're just sports broadcasters. Let's put this in perspective. There's always someone else. We're not curing cancer here. So but to see that people whether hopefully appreciated what I brought to the broadcast in the league, and genuinely, I hope, understood and appreciated how much love I have, not only for that league, but for the fans in it. It was an honor to be a part of such a tremendous league and such a great broadcast team, whether it was Chris Cuthbert, Glenn Suter, obviously Dusty, who I wish that I had been able to have worked with longer, but a ton of fun working with him, and the list goes on. Rod Smith, Rod Black, Dwayne Ford. It's just such a tremendous group of people that it was just such an honor to be able to have done that for as long as I did.
Sarah, great stuff. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Great to catch up and get your feedback on the Winnipeg Jets. I'm sure we'll have you on sometime during the season when these two teams meet again.
I hope so. They don't meet again, I think, until March, so that's disappointing. But hey, you guys ever want to check in? Please, we'll just a random Thursday. Give me a shout.
Sure. That's perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah. Enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks so much, guys. Congratulations on the show.
Thank you. That's Sara Orlesky, senior host and producer for the Winnipeg Jets. Just we do this EST show. She's got to be up there for guest of the year right now.
Of course. Yeah. Let's
like the feedback on the inbox and
crazy.
On the nasty.
Did you watch her last game?
I was in the league.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I was watching that, and you could see her though. Like she was trying to fight it back.
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she got the game ball then.
She did.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask her if that's on the mound or not, but we'll ask next time. Yeah.
This one from Matt Hyman says, thanks for getting Sara Orlesky on the show. Yesterday I was asking if she'd be on. Yeah, and so gracious with her time, and she does a great job on Jets TV with Jamie Thomas and a whole crew of talented people there. And yeah, there's a lot of talent on the sidelines. You got Britt Dort, you got our own Tommy Gazzola, you got the Farhands of the world and all that. So the league is still in really good hands. Sarah is definitely missed. You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell. She's Winnipeg, right? She's with the Jets too, but it was the CFL, Sara Orlesky.
Yeah, moving on. 60 thumbs up. We're falling short in this first hour. I don't think people want the keyword for the EST Flyway to LA, presented by 780 Gager. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a little bit disappointing, but I got Rusty Shackelford wrote in, Gager. 4 donaires a week with YTT. Does that not offer you a bit of detail to the top suspect of your bathroom cleanliness culprit you mentioned a few weeks ago? Well,
he's number one now.
No, Rusty, we don't have DNA testing yet, and I'm not doing it. So we'll keep an eye in there, and we'll see. I probably have to get here a little bit earlier. We're going to start getting maybe a list of items like dietary, what everyone's eating, so we can kind of guess who's destroying the bathroom here.
Yeah. My money's on the guy that eats 4 donaires a week.
He's at the top of the list.
There's a reason why I can only eat one once every 2 months.
Yeah. No, he's we might have to get him some scrub brushes to clean up after himself. Did he do this with the roommates? I don't know.
Oh man,
that's terrible.
I don't even want to know about that.
That's gross.
But VR Montenegro says I can't create any more accounts for the thumbs up. And then Matt Hyman says Hustler on the Reed Wilkins show today too. 2 Winnipeg Gems. Yeah, that's royalty right there.
It is.
Huss and Sara Orlesky, and once again, big shout out to Sarah for joining us on a busy day because it's game day as the Oilers take on the Jets. Coming up next, it is Hernan's World here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. But right now, let's get to a sports update with Zachticum.
The Edmonton Oilers have reclaimed Raphael Lavoie from waivers, and tonight it's the Oilers' season opener as they host the Jets. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas gets you set for the action at 7, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. 4 other games on tap with the Maple Leafs facing the Canadiens, Canucks seeing the Flames, the Rangers meeting the Penguins, and the Avs battling the Golden Knights. Russell Wilson of the Pittsburgh Steelers was a full participant in practice for the first time since season kickoff. And over in Las Vegas, Aiden O'Connell gets the call to start at quarterback this week for the Raiders, with Gardner Minshew getting sent to the bench. In MLB playoffs, the Tigers lead the Guardians 1-0 with the series tied at 1 apiece before the Phillies visit the Mets on the brink of elimination in Game 4. After that, it's the Yankees and the Royals, while Shohei Ohtani and his Dodgers look to push a Game 5 with the Padres. EST Afternoons continues right after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and now you're up to date.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Your
brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
I'm just going to try real quick. On 44 EST afternoons, Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, as Sara Orlesky's definitely in the running for guest of the year so far, because people are absolutely loving that we had her on to break down and a great breakdown, Gage.
Oh yeah, she's been great for years.
Yeah, it's been great, and it's going to be a fun night. Of course, Oil Stream pregame show at 7 o'clock, followed by the pregame show. Will be Tom Gazzola, myself, and Mr. Matt Cassian. Gage will be watching from home.
Yeah, I gotta change my setup a little bit, I think, because
you're telling me about that. Yes,
I need another screen. Yeah, I got to figure out what's gonna happen, because I'd like it on. You know, I'm just wondering where I'm gonna put it. I'll figure it out though.
Yeah, Chris G says, did you stop making food, Gager, for YouTube Trev to eat that many donairs? Yeah, like maybe we got to start feeding him ourselves.
Well, he had blizzards and pizza this morning. Donairs in the afternoon. What's he having tonight?
Oh, boy.
We'll have to ask him.
Probably a burger.
Burger?
Yeah, I'd put my money on a burger, because if you open the day with a blizzard, and he didn't eat it all, like he was having it right before he left here at around noon. Yeah, so he's probably going to have a 6 o'clocker lager in hand, which I saw him.
He said he was going to BP's for the game.
Pasta. Because it's Tuesday, right? No, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Pasta. Is it pasta Tuesday?
Wing Wednesday.
Right.
And the wings there are dynamite.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Boston pizza wings.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. Keep the messages coming on the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Of course, you can also hit us up, 780-218-9999. We're going to get to a lot of fun stuff here on the show. Reminder, you can listen to us on iHeart or the TuneIn radio apps, or watch us on the YouTube channel. But right now, it's time to get to... What's the segment, Gager, here? I'm trying to play Hernan's World.
No, that's what it is.
I was going to go Red Light District. Hernan's World, brought to you by the Garrison Curling Club. If you and your team are looking for a fun and exciting way to build some chemistry, look no further than the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Curling Club, located on CFB Edmonton. The Garrison Curling Club offers 6 sheets of ice, a full-service bar with kitchen, and includes all equipment needed for corporate bonspiels. And the Garrison Curling Club is run by the Nasties. As an added bonus, they will offer 10% off ice rentals to all EST listeners. Email curling@edmgolf.com and mention EST to book your corporate bonspiel today, Gager. And let's get to Hernan's World.
Viva la raza! Latino heat.
Let's go, Gager. Today's, I don't know if you played with this guy. Did you ever play with Rem Murray?
Yeah, of course.
Was he a gem?
Rem was. He's really funny. I've said this before. He's got brothers too that when you get all the Murray brothers together, look out. Because I think at one time at Barry T's, they were all here to visit, and they all started dancing like in unison kind of on the dance floor.
Okay.
But there was a bunch of rugby players there, and they didn't like it. And it was almost a big brouhaha, I think.
Really?
If memory serves me correct. My time at Barry T's was always foggy. But, no, great guy, really funny. I remember because that was I believe my second year with the Oilers. He had come from Michigan State. Is that I think I don't know. But a good college player, not really knowing but he was just a utility knife in the minors, right? And eventually kind of the same thing at the NHL level.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really good, solid, two-way player, responsible, want to run those favorites. And that team our dressing room was awesome, but lightened the mood a lot in the dressing room and was just a great, great teammate.
He was the fourth line center in that 06 team that went all the way. Well,
I just talked to him the other day too, just texting because he was it was during the playoffs. He was coming in for a playoff game.
Should get him on the show one day.
Yeah, for sure.
So Hernan's World is in honor of Rem Murray. You know why? Because his nickname was Rem the Gem Murray. He turns 52 today, Gager.
Yeah, I'm quite aware that we're all old.
I don't know if Zachticum knows who Rem Murray is. Zach, do you know? Is that too old school for you?
You were telling me this before going on air, and you're like, "Oh, Rem Murray." I'm like, "Rem who?" I'm sorry, I didn't know who Rem Murray was
fair.
or is.
He's a little bit old school, but in honor of his nickname, the Gem, because usually when guys have nicknames, they're like the elites of the elites, but you're seeing it more and more, like the Spicy Tuna there in Utah, Liam O'Brien. So we're gonna go with your top 3 favorite nicknames, NHL nicknames, past or present. Who wants to go first? Zachticum?
Sure, I'll go. I mean, you named that was the first one that I thought of was Spicy Tuna, Liam O'Brien of the Utah HC. That was the first introduction he had when the team made it out to Salt Lake, and he said, "I'm Liam O'Brien, also known or better known as Spicy Tuna. You could just call me Spicy Tuna." That's a big one. So that's a really funny one. I don't even know how he got that.
Okay, Gager?
Well, I think it's one of the most unique ones, and I've known him for probably the longest. Cujo, just to take the first 2 letters of the first, last, it just perfect, and then it spawned the mask.
Oh, the mask was
still
awesome.
To like, you call him Cujo, right? Like he still goes by his nickname. It's perfect.
Yeah, I really like that. The mask did it for me, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Former Edmonton Oiler. Send yours in, your favorite nicknames and NHL player nicknames, past or present, to the inbox at 780-218-9999 or on the Nasty Chat. I got to go, and he's one of my favorite players of all time, the Russian Rocket, Pavel Bure.
Yeah.
Like there's the way he played, the way he skated, the way he did the flying elbow on Shane Sherla in the playoffs to knock him out after taking all that abuse from the fourth liner, Shane Sherla. But you couldn't have asked for a better name. The Russian Rocket, Pavel Bure, in the all black Canucks uniform was just the best. It was a thing of beauty.
One time on the show, we got to have just a little segment on players that we'd love to see in today's game. We've done it before, but a little upgrade. He's got to be at the top of the list.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because his career was cut short because of back problems.
Yeah.
Zachticum, number 2 for you.
There's a lot of these. Like I'm looking at the huge list, but one of my favorites, honestly, because I think it's just so fitting, Nikolai the Bulin Wall.
That's a good one.
That one's just classic. I mean, the Bulin Wall, like it fits with his last name. You've got it there, so I got to go with the
And I think his
wall.
mask had a little bit of a wall on it too, right?
Yeah.
Like that was good.
Another
good
former Oiler.
Yeah.
Like it's unreal.
Oilers have the best nicknames.
Gager, number 2 for you.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me what my nickname was. Mixing a save Gage. It was a... No, I think I'm going to go with... rest in peace, but the boogeyman, Derek Beauregard.
Yeah.
I mean, tough as nails, scary guy, but being named the Baba Yaga boogeyman, that was good.
Did you ever like the name? This is not one of my picks, but Cement Head for Semenko?
No. No. That's makes him sound like.
But it's because if you were hitting it, it was like hitting cement. I don't think it was an insult.
I know, but it makes Cement Head to me seems like a guy that's not that bright. If you ever talked to Dave Semenko, he was very dry, very quick, and hilarious.
I met him a few times,
and it's scary because he looks scary. Like he rarely smiled. It seemed like, but he was a really, really funny man.
I'm gonna go with a goaltender here, and one of the best. I don't know if you think he's one of the best, but Dominic, the Dominator Hasek.
That's one that I was thinking.
The best, one of the best goalie lids I've ever seen. And this guy was just amazing on the ice, man.
Yeah, man. It's weird because that was more along the golden age of goaltenders, I think, where you had, I want to say you had at least 7 or 8 guys that made okay teams, great teams.
Yeah.
And he was one of those. Cujo was the same way. Just those really massive difference makers. I think there's only a few in the league right now that actually do that on a consistent. The game's changed, and I understand that, but yeah, he was a guy that was real. Like, didn't he win Harts and Vezinas? Like, for goalies to win the Hart Trophy, like how good do you have to be to win that and be like if you were to look at most players, they would say, yeah, he's the best player in the league.
And Senators legend.
To be called the Dominator.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was a perfect moniker for him, right? Yeah. Because he dominated.
Yeah. Your last one, Zachticum.
Now, the Dominator was right up there on my list. He's personally my favorite goalie of all time. Just his play style was crazy. But somebody who just came out of nowhere one season and helped the Senators push themselves into the playoffs and played his just one season wonder, Andrew the Hamburglar Heyman. The Hamburglar. And he's got free McDonald's for the rest of his life because of it. Like, come
and he
on.
had one really good season.
Yeah, that was it. He just had the one good season. He took the reins and as the starting goaltender and just played lights out. I think he went like 27, 10, and 2 or something like that, just going down the stretch and helped the Senators make it and push it to the playoffs. Like, come on now. Hamburglar.
Gage, your third one.
No, you give me yours because I don't want to step on your toes.
I'm going to go with Stu the Grim Reaper Grimson. That's good. One of the best nicknames, and he was truly, truly scary.
Yeah, no, he was the Grim Reaper. It was great that the tough guys got those names that you're just like, oh, I'm going up against the Reaper tonight.
The Boogeyman.
Right? The Boogeyman and stuff. It's kind of a toss-up. There's some real good ones out there that maybe people don't know. But, I mean, just to keep it local, I have to do it. But Moulet, Ryan Smith, that's what we used to call Moulet. What are you doing tonight? Like that was good because of that ridiculous hair that he always had. So.
It was absolutely great. Aiden O'Neill in the inbox says Don Grapes Sherry is the best nickname to come out of hockey for me. This one says the Moose. C-Max from Southside says my idol Eddie the Eagle Belfort. Probably for me the best goalie lid I've ever seen.
With the eagle on there? I
man.
mean, it spanned every other goalie mask in Canadian Tire for decades. So, yeah, that was good. We had another name for it. Like when he started, he was always Butterfly. So the nickname was kind of Eddie All Fours because it seemed like every goal that went in, he was on all fours.
Timber Woodsman says Red Light Rasco. Bone says, can confirm Semenko dislikes cement. No, I know he disliked it, but I know a lot of people back in the day used to call him that because hitting him was like hitting cement.
Oh,
and
really?
Like, I don't think it was meant in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, no.
This one says, sticking with my goalies, my uncle played for the Bruins in the late 30s, 40s. His nickname was Mr. Zero.
Oh.
Bob Christensen.
That's a good, I definitely did that. Didn't get that one. Maybe after the first 5 minutes, maybe.
I like this one from Gore. Jim Carrey, the net detective. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember playing against him, too.
The Washington. Bryce.
Small pads. Looked like shin pads. And he was a big man. He was like 6'3", 6'4".
Another McFan says for sure, Cujo, Eddie the Belfort Eagle from Chris G. The Finnish Flash. Oh.
Yeah, Timu. That's great.
Twin Towers? Who are the Twin Towers?
Twin Towers.
Jason Smith, right? Wasn't that the D pairing?
With Smith and Pronger?
Yeah.
No, were they Twin Towers?
I don't remember that. the kid line, not a specific player. That comes from Rusty.
That's good. The old Oilers kid line. There's been other kid lines kind of too.
Legion of Doom line. That was a good line.
Those guys were scary because I was close to 700 pounds on the ice with those three. Because everyone forgets, like Renberg, I mean, it was Leclerc and Lindros, and they were beasts. But Renberg was he was 6'2", 220 too. So it was just a joke. And that was in that old Spectrum. That was, they were a menace.
A few more. Kenny the Rat Linsman.
Yeah.
There's a really good one here. I think you'll like this one, Gager. There's Sid the Kid, obviously. The grade 8 is Ovechkin. The little ball of hate, Pat Verbeek.
Yeah, a little bit. There was a guy in the minors. His name's was Frank Bialois, and they called him the Animal. And we played against it. They were the Philadelphia Phantoms, the minor league team, but we played in the old Spectrum too. So, but when he came on the ice, all like the Spectrum was full. Like they had a lot of fans of those games. And they would start chanting "Animal, Animal," and he'd start running around going crazy. It was something to behold. And they had those old boards where you hit someone in the plexiglass, it almost hit the fans in the first row. It would bend so much.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, and it was loud. It was great.
A few Oiler ones that were good. Chopper, Ethan Morrow.
Chopper's good.
Gator.
Gator was good.
Jason Smith. Steady Steve Stales.
Steady Steve.
Me and my cousins had a nickname for Todd Marchand, but I don't think it stuck. It was No Hands Marchand.
Oh, really? No, it was Little General. That's what we called him because he was so bossy.
Mike Greer, his nickname was Rosie.
Rosie Greer.
Do you have any more from your playing days? Dougie Wade have a nickname?
One of the best ones of all time, I think, and it was my old. There's a great documentary with the Red Wings. Dan Cleary is sitting there in the training room with Pavel Datsyuk, and he goes onto his phone and says, "Hey Siri, who is the Magic Man?" And Siri would respond, "It's Pavel Datsyuk."
Datsyuk, yeah.
And the Magic Man, and Siri is actually saying it. That's unbelievable. And you could see Datsyuk, like he's just sitting there going, like kind of, oh God, not really liking it. And stuff. But that guy, if you're young enough and you haven't watched Pavel Datsyuk play hockey, man, that guy was he broke. I don't think there's another player that broke ankles like him.
He was magic.
He was magic. The Magic Man.
This one from Snars Tack says, in the 80s, Dave Hunter busted his hand on Semenko's head. It was a term of endearment, and that's likely why the name stuck. Yeah, that's what I had heard. Lars says the Twin Towers was Steve Smith and Jeff Bookaboom.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. I didn't know
makes
that.
sense.
And we got some nicknames for Two Burger Tommy.
Yeah.
There's one here for, hold on, let me scroll up a bit. These are coming in hot, so I'm losing. There's one for YouTube Trev, but the Washroom Warrior.
Oh yeah.
The Rat Turtle King, of course, that's Mr. Kachuk. That's pretty how about this one? The Magician, Kent Nielsen.
Right. I got a funny story about Kent Nielsen too, but maybe we'll save it.
What was Darian Hatcher's? I don't know. I really don't know one.
Darian Hatcher?
Yeah.
Dirty Darian Hatcher.
Dirty. It's 2-1. We have to get to a break here. We didn't hit 100, so the mystery, the keyword will not be shared just yet. We got to hit 100 thumbs up here on EST Afternoons. Coming up in the second hour, we're going to talk to Mr. YouTube Trev at 2:20. But up next, it's Oilers predictions and a few goalies re-up with their teams, and we'll get our expert goalie analyst here and get his thoughts on these two goaltenders. That's all coming up next here on EST Afternoons.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Looking
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
It's crunch time for your taste buds, because for a limited time, A&W is collaborating with Ruffles to bring you the Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger, your favorite teen burger, and your favorite Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips, combined into one unique taste sensation. It's grass-fed beef. It's one-of-a-kind ridges and crunch. Try it in all its teen burger glory, or crunch into its equally tasty sidekick, the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger, for just $4.99. Try one today at your neighborhood A&W.
Raphael Lavoie has been reclaimed off waivers by the Edmonton Oilers after Vegas put him back on the wire yesterday. In their season opener, the Oilers play the Jets, and you can tune into EST tonight at 7 o'clock as Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas bring you the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Elsewhere, it's the Maple Leafs and Canadiens, Canucks hosting the Flames, Rangers seeing Crosby in the pens before McKinnon and the Avs take on the Golden Knights. Russell Wilson was a full participant in practice for the first time since the start of the season, coming back from a calf injury. Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce has named Aiden O'Connell as the starter this week, placing Garner Minshew to the bench. Right now, the Tigers are up 2-0 against the Guardians, and later the Phillies look to push a Game 5 against the Mets. Ohtani and his Dodgers then meet the Padres, while the Yankees battle the Royals. EST Afternoons continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
It's 2:04. Happy Wednesday afternoon. It's game day. Edmonton Oilers taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Going to be a fun night down at Rogers Place. Banner night, Gage.
Really? Yeah, I don't know.
You don't care about those?
No.
I don't either, to be honest. Like, I think they have it up and they're just going to kind of unveil it. Like, and then I think Dusty was saying they should have did a whole thing for it. I was like, no, they didn't win.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're a new team, maybe. I think, I guess there's some history. Doesn't it say like the Smythe division?
Yeah.
So that's okay. But I remember going in when I got drafted in Montreal and going into the old Forum, and you look up in the rafters and there's tons, but they're all Stanley Cups. And I know there was only 6 teams, but it was really impressive how many times they've won the Stanley Cup, right? Like, it was pretty cool.
Brett Kellington says Guy Lafleur was the flower, which was one of the best. Fish Tank says, I wonder what Darren Poopa's nickname was. I never thought we'd bring up Darren Poopa on this show, but there we are. That's the fluffiest pads I've ever seen on a goaltender, Gage.
Oh, yeah.
The
old poopster. I forgot to mention and he was my best friend my last year playing on the team, but Dan Cleary gave himself a nickname and called himself Sea Bear. And we were like, "Where'd that come from?" You know, I just like it. And so he
calls himself Sea Bear.
Sea Bear. He would introduce himself. Hi, so and so. Hi, Sea Bear. Oh my God, was he a beauty?
Chris G says Alice Hemsky broke ankles. Good old Hemmer. Snars Tax says Doug Waite was known to Dipsy Doodle as well. Of course. Yeah, he was some of the best. Nico Benitez. I know this guy. Let's go Oilers. Vamos Chile. Good dude. Shout out to Nico there. And Tommy Gazzola. The banner is up. It fits right in with the other ones. Nice to add one, though. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's great. I just don't think they should have did like a whole, ceremony pregame, Gager.
No. That's, make light of it. Well,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, even at the beginning of the game when they come out on the ice.
Yeah.
Just welcome your do it tonight, first game. your 2023-24 Western Conference champions, Edmonton Oilers. They come out, shine the light on it, move on.
Yeah, let's get to our Oiler predictions. We did our
Wait. Tommy Short Shorts Gazzola is fantastic.
Is it Short Shorts Gazzola or is two Burger Tommy?
Well, it depends on the time of year because we're coming up to daylight savings here, and Tommy changes his name. I think it's Time Zone Tommy is what I go with because he's affected so much with the time change.
Yeah, no doubt. It's EST Afternoons coming to you live from the William Hub Studios here in the west end of the city. Hit us up on the Nasty Chatter text at the 780-218-9999. If you want to listen, tune in, or the iHeartRadio apps. If you want to watch us, EST YouTube channel. Zachticum, we'll get the 3-shot ready here as we're all going to chime in on this. This one's a fun one, and I want our listeners to chime in too. Who's going to score the first goal of the Edmonton Oilers season? Oof. Whoever wants to go first, just jump right in. I feel like Zach wants to jump in on
okay.
this.
Okay, I'll take it. Darnell Nurse.
Oh,
jeez.
Like to see it.
You like to see it, but you're in an alternate reality here, buddy. That's who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
I've said that he's going to be the breakout, so that's not bad, Zach.
Did you see the pick though that Dusty made? He was Jeff Skinner point, I think. Jeff Skinner goal is Trev's guess. So I mean, he said Stuart Skinner maybe is the worry for him, and he eats 4 donairs a week, so I don't know how much I can take his opinion. I'll take it with a grain of salt, but
25 for Zach Gager.
God, do you have one in mind?
I can go.
Yeah, you go.
I'm going to go with a guy who I think is going to have a great year with Mr. Leon Draisaitl.
Okay.
Number 33, Victor Arvidsson will get the first goal tonight.
Okay. All right. I won't, that's a good pick. Good pick. Oh, that's tough too. I'm going to go way off the board here. I'm looking at lineups. And I've seen who they're matched up again with, and I think this would send the roof off the place if he scores this. But Connor Brown.
Oh, okay.
You imagine?
Oh man,
he scores that first goal.
Imagine he scores 20.
No.
No, not a chance. I'd shave my head if he scores 20.
Whoa.
You heard it here.
You heard it here. Yeah. You heard
it.
And
I'm doing it too.
Not your beautiful hair. Oh,
we got a bunch coming in on the Nasty Chat that we'll get to. Here's the second question. After 97 and 29, obviously, who will have the most points for the Oil? So who will be third?
Third
on the team in points.
I'm just going to go with the easy one. It's probably going to be Nugent Hopkins just because he's on that power play.
Okay, Zachticum.
I have 2 names, but I feel like the first one is definitely the easier one to actually be third in point scoring. It'll be Bouchard. I mean, he had 82 points in 81 games last year. I feel like he could push 20 goals, 90 points this year. And then my second pick, because I feel like he's going to have a career year, Arvidsson.
I was going to go with Evan Bouchard. I think he's going to crack 90 for sure.
Yeah. Those are good ones.
Tommy says, I'm wearing shorts right now.
Of course he is.
Snars Tack says Nurse. Jamie says Arvidsson. Honest Hansel says Skinner. T. Wilson says Connor Brown. Eric says Emberson. Blair Brownridge says Lavoie. That's for the first goal. Who's going to finish third in points? We got a lot for MOP says Bouchard. Trent H. Bouchard. Lars Bouchard. Nuge. There's some for Nuge. No love for Hyman. I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah, it was between those two, I thought, right? I mean, I don't know what your other question is, but let us know on the Nasty Chat or the text line, 780-218-9999. Will Zach Hyman score 50 goals again this year?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to say no.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
You see his speech at the end of the season?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I still think he's going to score a lot of goals. I just don't think he'll hit 50. Zach, you're the tiebreaker.
Well, I'm breaking the tie, and I don't think Zach Hyman will hit 50 goals again.
Okay.
Arvidsson, Skinner, I mean...
I might shave you now.
All right. Stay away.
Stay away.
No.
Stay away. Third question. Unsung hero for the Edmonton Oilers this season.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Wow. So I'm going to go with, and I hope this is Calvin Pickard. And
Okay.
is that yours?
I can change it, yeah.
Okay, because I just feel that what he did last year he should have been it last year with what he did. And I think just because he's starting the season now, that he can get a little bit more established with some of those back-to-backs and maybe playing some games if Stu's not feeling it. He could be the unsung hero.
Okay.
I feel like that. Yeah, that's a very good pick.
How about you?
For Pickard? You know, I don't think he got enough love last year, and he didn't really have that many games in the Oilers uniform. Troy Stetcher.
Oh,
I feel like he's going to play really well this season. I have high hopes for him in that sixth defensive spot.
This one's tough. Would Kulak be considered an unsung hero?
He always is.
Kulak's, I've said it. Him and Stuart Skinner are my favorite Oilers because it just seems like Kulak, when it counts most, he is awesome.
And I'm picking Kulak because there's so much question marks on the right side outside of Bouchard that I think Kulak's going to make up for it a lot. He's going to kill penalties. He's going to have to play with Dermott or Stetcher or Emberson and kind of carry that load there. So I'm going to go with Brett Kulak. I don't know if that's a fair one because I think he's always been good for this team. And he's
such a good skater, man.
And no one talks about him.
No.
He's
awesome.
I love him. I was going to go with Rico, but I think Enrique is, he's just Rico, right?
He's Rico.
Suave. Contract year for Evan Bouchard. He's going to play like a beast. That's from T. Wilson. That's true. He's going to tear it up. Trent H says for unsung hero, Enrique. Chris G says Josh Brown. Jamie says Rico. Chief Andy, who doesn't like Skinner, says nice pick, Gager. Pickard, yes.
Yeah, because he hates Skinner, right? No? Just kidding.
VR Montenegro says DR10. Derek Ryan. Honest Hansel says unsung hero, Connor Brown. Snars Tack says 53 for Zach. Nurse for unsung hero. Nurse is a good one too. T-Man says Enrique. On the on the inbox, Kane going on LTIR for unsung.
That's a good one.
Sonny D says Ekholm. Tyler Terwilliger says if Nurse scores first goal, Gager has to shave his head. That's not funny. Come on,
let's say my back. I'll be quicker in the water.
All right, guys. And finally, points for the Edmonton Oilers this year.
Who have the least?
No, as a team.
Oh, as a team.
So let's look at last year. I think they're going to be 4 points. I was thinking of this last night. I think they're going to be 3 wins better than they were last year.
Okay.
So that puts them at, I'm just looking it up right now. That would, let me switch to, there we go. I'd put them at 110 points. They finished with 104 last year.
Let's see. I say a 106.
So 1 win better, or 2 points better.
Yeah, I don't. That's even. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. 106.
Zachticum?
I got 102. I had to do some quick math. I'm not good at math. I used a calculator. I got him 47, 27, 8. 102 points.
Okay. Fair enough. Trend H says 106. MOP says 97. That's taking a step back for sure.
You don't want that, though. I think, though, they need some home ice. I think that they've realized that. And that's kind of I know that when you hear them speak, it's day to day, stay in the moment, all that kind of stuff. But I think in the back of their minds, they know that they need some more home dates, possibly throughout going through a longer playoff run.
Yeah,
starting at home is huge because they are, over the last few years, have been a very dominant team at home, and I think just putting that pressure back on the teams when it matters in the playoffs is way more beneficial than starting on the road.
100%. Chris G says 110. Jamie 106. Gord 113. Rusty 107. So everybody's got them. By Dusty, who pushes them more, Vancouver or Vegas?
Vancouver.
I think so too. I think Vancouver.
It's not going to be easy against Vegas, but I just think if you're going to look at the end of the year and those games, those will be a lot of eyes on those games. I'm looking forward to seeing what those actually look like, especially Vancouver. I think it's kind of died out the animosity of Vegas. I think Vancouver's temperature is
that the Oilers' biggest rival right now?
It's got to be
Vancouver.
Yeah,
I think it has to be because it's not Calgary.
Well, it's not Florida.
It's not Vegas. It used to be.
It used to be.
I mean, LA kind of because they meet all the time in the first round.
But I think they've just slapped them around so much. That's not a rivalry. They've spanked them.
Where Vancouver dominated the Oilers in the regular season, and then game 7 was a bloodbath.
Yeah, and should have really. Vancouver should have won. You really look at it.
I think Shelovs can carry the mail there. We'll
see. I do think you can get till Christmas, right?
Yeah.
But look, the travel schedule, it's hard being on the West Coast. The time changes are always different for a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. That's when you start to get worn down, especially for a guy that hasn't played at the NHL level for a whole season.
We're at 97 thumbs up, Gager, which is pretty darn good.
Let me go to the burners. Hold on.
We're gonna give out the keyword here. The EST Flyaway to LA is proudly presented by the 780. The 780 is a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. The key word today is Santa. Santa. S-A-N-T-A. There's a method to Ewonics madness.
It's not December yet.
There's a method to Ewonics madness, so stay tuned for the Reed Wilkins Show as well. But text that in now, 780-218-9999, and our guy Zachticum will get our next qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA. That's all coming up after the break, along with our good buddy, YouTube Trev. This is EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. Here's Zachticum with a sports update.
The Edmonton Oilers have reclaimed Raphael Lavoie from waivers, and it's the Oilers' season opener tonight as they host the Winnipeg Jets. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas gets you set for the action at 7 o'clock, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. 4 other games on tap with the Maple Leafs facing the Canadiens, Canucks seeing the Flames, the Rangers meeting the Penguins, and the Avs battling the Golden Knights. And it was Russell Wilson of the Pittsburgh Steelers who was a full participant in practice for the first time since the start of the season. Out in Las Vegas, Aiden O'Connell will get the call to start at QB this week for the Raiders, with Gardner Minshew getting sent to the bench. In MLB playoffs, the Tigers lead the Guardians 2-0 with the series tied at 1 apiece before we see the Phillies visit the Mets on the brink of elimination in Game 4. After that, it's the Yankees and the Royals, while Shohei Ohtani and his Dodgers look to push a Game 5 with the Padres. And right after the break, the Donair man himself, YouTube Trev, joins Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and now you're up to date.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has trucks, sleek SUVs, and with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
It is 2:23 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Static free since 23. It's EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, and our producer, Zach. We're just ahead of YouTube Trev, who's waiting patiently, and Zach's working on our next qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA, which is proudly presented by the 780. I can't wait to rock some of their gear, Gager. They got some
looking
cool
forward
stuff,
to it. Yeah.
man.
Hey, it's my favorite price, too. Free $99.
I like how Zach just laughed.
I
know. Quickly, Linus Lomark signs for the same amount of money as Swayman, but a shorter term deal. What do you think?
Well, he's older, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. I like it. I like the fact that I think he's they've already said that he's solidified some things and made it comfortable for the back end.
Yeah.
I think this is something Steos recognized and goes, let's just get this done. Let's ink this guy, let him not have to worry about anything in the future. You're here for the next few years. Let's make some magic.
I just find it cool that the two guys that were teammates get the same.
I know. I wonder if they'll hug after the game when they play each other.
And Joey DeCord in Seattle signs a 5-year, $25 million extension. Sorry, that starts next season. What do you think of that? As a 1B guy, right? Because it's Grubauer's net.
Yeah, that's. Sorry, I just want to see this. 5-year, 25.
So it's like
what does that do
Jack
to
Campbell.
their? Okay, no. So that's this year. Next year, 8.1% of the cap will go against. The cap will raise. Or that's this year. I don't know.
Interesting, though, eh? To commit to a guy that's not a legit starter yet.
Yeah, no, that'll be over 10% of the cap next year. I don't like that.
Okay.
I think you have to keep.
And because you like Joey DeCord.
Joey understands goaltending. No, I don't mind him, and it's a good tandem. When they had the kind of rankings of the Pacific Division of goaltending combinations and who's the best, I looked at that one. I go, you know what, those two are good goal. I still wonder. It would have been nice to see if Grubauer. I'm pretty sure he would have been a Stanley Cup champion with that Avalanche team. Still baffles me why he would select that year to go to a different team, but and take for the money. I still wonder if Grubauer is the guy that can get him over a few different hurdles, right?
Yeah.
But it's a platoon system.
For sure. Zach, we got our qualifier here?
Yes, we do. Mr. Cody is on the line.
Cody, how you doing today?
Good, boys. How you doing?
Excellent, excellent. So you're our next qualifier, flight for two to LA with hotel and rental car. The trip is December 26th through December 30th. You'll catch 3 games, Clippers, Warriors, Rams, Cardinals, and the Edmonton Hockey Club, either against the LA Kings or Anaheim Ducks. Have you ever watched the Oil on the road?
I have. Only in Calgary, though.
Okay. And who would you take if you won this trip?
I wouldn't have a choice. The wife would have to come.
That's all good. Would you be more pumped for the NBA or the NFL game?
I'd be pretty hyped on the NBA game.
Yeah, that's a really good game. Kawhi against Steph Curry. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Well, Cody, best of luck. The winner will be announced on November 29th during the morning show, and that's when we'll give this trip away. But all the best, and congratulations on qualifying.
Beauty. Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
You too. That was Cody, our next qualifier.
Nice.
He texted in the word Santa.
Tough to only go to the Saddle Dome. Hope he deloused after those games.
Yeah. Let's get to our good buddy. He's taking a lot of heat right now on the Nasty Chat.
Is he? Good.
Yeah. YouTube Trev. How you doing, my friend?
I'm taking heat. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. You're coming in hot.
Go. That's good. How's it going, boys? This is an honor. I just want to say this is my first time coming on anyone's show as a guest. Like, obviously, I should say virtually, been on the Hangout a lot of times, but yeah, for the most part, just producing all the shows. So when Hernan was like, "Hey, like, you want to come on the show?" I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was taken back. And I am a little nervous, and I'll get to that. It's pretty cool, man. I've told Gager this a few times, but I remember his first hit on Sportsnet. I think it was the bubble year, if I'm not mistaken. And all of a sudden, my stepdad just yells, "Holy crap, that's Joaquin Gage!" And I'm just like, "Oh my, like this is crazy." And by the end of the period, I think I knew more about Gager than he knows himself right now. So it's pretty sweet. And then obviously Hernan, like I followed you very closely. When you were with Locked On, I listened to you, and now I'm working with both of you guys. So, and you're having me on your show. This is insane.
That's great, man. You're the Rookie of the Year, right?
Let's go.
Yeah,
yes,
it's great it's great working with you. I love your passion for hockey and the Edmonton Oilers, and you're a great producer and you're a great guest, and we're happy to have you as you're kind of joining a show for the first time. Gager, do you want to start with the beef you have with them, or
can I start now that this love fest is over? Because enough's enough, Trev. I had to spit out the cornflakes this morning with your takes on one Stuart Skinner. So I was too mad. I had to unplug and go into the other room after what your rant on one of the best goalies in the NHL. So can you kind of clarify why you feel that Stuart Skinner gives you pause going into this year? What has he done over the past 2 seasons to think that he is not a serviceable, reliable NHL goaltender?
Okay, so you know what? I was actually thinking of Joaquin Gage when I said that because I know you tune in. And so it goes back to, I know someone texted in the morning and he said he was top 5 in wins last season. I mean, you put Stuart Skinner, you take the Stuart Skinner out of the equation. I think whatever goalie is going to be, for the Oilers, he's going to be top 5 in wins. If you put Stuart Skinner on Chicago Blackhawks, a bad team, he's not going to be top 5 in wins. And just looking at the numbers as far as playoff goes, I know starting last year, he's got one of the worst save percentages. And then I had it down. I think his playoff save percentage is .894. And that's from this year and last year. And it's you say one of the best goalies. I can't go. I'm not sold. I'm not quite sold. Have I seen quite a bit? Yes, at times. It's just being a number 1 goalie in the NHL. It's bringing it every single night. And I think last year, maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like he lost the Oilers more games than he won. And so that's kind of why. And until he, by all accounts, he's going to, if he proves me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. He is the hardest worker in the room. And you got to keep in mind, he is a very young goalie. Like, he's my age, right? To be a number 1. So he's way ahead of a whole lot of goalies in the NHL. It's just the numbers don't quite back it up for me quite yet. But I think this year, it will be a good sign to see what the Oilers have. And could he be a number 1? Yeah, he's shown he can be, but I just want to see it a little bit more.
YouTube Trev. Yeah, no, I mean, I know Andy on the nasty chat says beautiful rant, White, because he's not big on Skinner either. But I think I'm pretty comfortable with the goaltending this year. Let's flip to the defense, YouTube Trev. I know early in the morning with the boys, you were talking about Troy Stecher, and it's weird that they just won't play this guy, and Travis Dermott's getting the first shot on the third pair with Brett Kulak. For you, is that the right move, or do you want to see the Oilers kind of let Stecher run for a good 8 to 10 games, see what you have?
Yeah, man, I feel like you don't really know what you got in Troy Stecher. And when I watched the Oilers every single game, and if it's not the Oilers, growing up from down south, I was always watching the Flames. And before he was on the Oilers, he was playing for the Flames. And obviously it's a different team, different situation. But at times I'm like, man, like, how are they not going to re-sign Troy Stecher? Because on some nights, like, he was just super noticeable. And I saw that what he was able to do with the Flames. And when the Oilers got him, I'm just like, okay, like, this is great. I think he's a better option. He's faster than Vinny Desharnais at the time, And I remember I also said this on my post-game show. People say, oh, but Vinny Desharnais is way more physical. I look at the stat sheet. Troy Stecher had like 5 more hits than Vinny Desharnais did. So he can play physical as well. And it's just getting the reps in. It's kind of like Trey Ford. You don't really know what you got. And Troy Stecher, obviously, he's not going to move the needle a heck of a whole lot, but I'd like to see him get in the rhythm. And I thought that, during the preseason, I liked what I saw from him, and I thought he deserved a roster spot opening night. He didn't get that. Dermott obviously impressed as well, but I don't think it'll be long before Troy Stecher gets a handful of games, and I think that's all he needs. I really do think if he plays 8 games, he'll be a lock on the roster for the rest of the season.
YouTube Trev joins us from the smash hit Nielsen show with Lieutenant Eric in the mornings on EST. Trev, I believe you spoke about how your father, I believe, is a Winnipeg Jets fan. So tonight, obviously, there's a little bit of a rivalry in the Party Boy household. When you look at the Winnipeg Jets, what gives you the most pause? Like, what are you most worried about tonight? And let's just look at it in one game. What worries you about the Edmonton Oilers going up against the Winnipeg Jets?
So, I mean, Dean Belanger, obviously, he's a nasty, and he was in the EST HQ headquarters today. The Winnipeg Jets always make it a good game against the Edmonton Oilers. And so it is always fun. My dad and I, he's if any WSTers are out there, he's from Poplar Point, right outside of Winnipeg. So we're texting every single game that they go head to head. But as far as like the Jets, they're a really good team. They're pretty thin down center. Like your second line center is Vladislav Nemestikov. Like that's not the best, but I mean, you do have the best goalie in the world. So I'm expecting a good game. These players or these teams always, it's a battle. It's a rivalry there. There is, I know it was the 80s, 90s. These teams always played, and the Oilers, they had a good fair share of winning back in the day, but it's a pretty good rivalry nowadays. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see how the Jets do, because no one really pegged them to be as good as they were. There was a time last year where they were first. I think it was during the All-Star break. They were first in the NHL or right before the Christmas break. No one really expected that, and so they made a coaching change. I still think they're going to be a competitive team this year. Cole Perfetti signed, which is going to be huge for them, and he's going to have to step up because he's going to have to. He signed a contract. This is a good year. This is a big year for Cole Perfetti. So I'm expecting another competitive season from the Jets, but it'll just be interesting, the dynamic, to see if the bench boss can get the best out of his players like we saw in Rick Bowness.
YouTube Trev, what are you more passionate about, the Oilers or Donairs?
Oh gosh. Oh brother. Man,
I like how you have to think about it.
Oh my God. Like, it's been a year. He's had Donairs for a year. He's had Oilers his whole life, and now it's a thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, it is a thing.
I might suggest, Trev, with this love of Donairs, you might have to give the Donair Award to the best player for the Oilers on each night. That could be a thing. Or after your 4 Donairs and what you probably do to your bathroom at home, that could be another way to measure success of players. But look. I love what you do here, Trev. I love your insight. Great job today. I hate to say it, but we're going to have to probably have you back on EST afternoons again sometime.
You hate to say it. Oh, Gager. Oh, that hurts.
You're bringing the heat. Hey, who's going to score the first goal for the Edmonton Oilers this season?
Okay, so I was actually looking back at this. It was Draisaitl last year, Draisaitl the year before, then it was Yamamoto, and then it was Draisaitl again. So if you're betting on Draisaitl to score first, that's probably a safe bet. I said it on the Nielsen show today, though. Just the world works in crazy ways. I can just see just how it works. Jeff Skinner, he's going to get the Oilers on the board, first goal of the season. And if not him, it's Jeff Skinner, Zach Hyman, or Draisaitl. It's either one of those three, but I'm going with Jeff Skinner.
What's going to be the drink of choice and the meal of choice for tonight's game?
Drink of choice. That's a good question. Let me see here. What do we got here? Yeah. So we already know the drink of choice. I'm going out for some wings later. Obviously, it's Wing Wednesday. Going to go to local, I guess just the Boston Pizza down the road. So that's where I'm heading. I can't wait. Guys, hockey is back. I'm pumped. This is great. It's the best day of the year for me, honestly. I made a video about it yesterday. I didn't quite have the tingles. It was kind of like Christmas hockey for me growing up.
Yeah.
The day before, and I didn't get it this year, but it's back now. I can't wait. Let's drop the puck. Let's go, baby.
Hot wings?
Hot wings. Obviously hot wings.
Yes, that's my kind of guy right there, man. It's got only hot wings. Wings are
absolutely, boys.
Wings are meant to be only spicy.
Just like sweet chili, or hot. So that's my go-tos for sure.
YouTube Trev, thank you for joining us. This was great. You were great. You're a big hit on the Nats chat and on the inbox. People are asking you to be a weekly guest on our show. So
let's get whoa.
That's something we're gonna have to look into.
Gage on me. You're funny, Gage. You're good. But,
YouTube Trev, enjoy the game tonight, my friend.
For sure. Before I head, I just want to finish with the joke. Is that okay?
Yes.
What's 6 feet tall, dashing, and can disappear in an instant?
What?
He's like 5'9".
You little bugger.
6 feet.
Yeah, he's not 6 feet.
Geez.
There's no way he's 6 feet.
That's hilarious. Good work, Trev. Good work.
You didn't even say bye. No, rude.
That's all right.
This one says, Trent H. YTT is making such a great guest, needs to be a weekly regular. He's actually more passionate about wind. That's from Survey.
Yeah. We should. His love of wind, or his bragging of wind, his Donair knowledge, and his love of the Oilers are infectious, to say the least.
I'm seeing this on the X too. Blair Brownridge also. Thanks for bringing it up. Lavoie is on the Oilers roster. Someone higher up in the standings also claimed Raphael Lavoie, but the Oilers got him, so he has to stay on the roster.
Really?
Yeah. He won't play, but
someone was really messing with the Oilers then.
Yeah.
That's a team just saying, you know what? Well, maybe not. Who knows? But what does that do? Is he still on the roster?
Yeah.
He's not.
I'm seeing it from some media on the X machine as well. So I know Blair is giving us the correct information.
On Puckpedia, he's not there, because how much does he make? He makes the little over 8, I believe. I don't know what they're going to do with. Well, they'll have to send someone down then.
They might, yeah.
Because
we got to figure out.
We got to figure that out.
Yeah. So does YouTube Trev? What is he more passionate about? The Oilers, wind, Donairs, or phone books?
Oh my gosh.
All right, coming up next, we'll wrap up the show, get you ready for the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. They're going to be bringing some fire for 3 hours, and then it's Tommy, Cass, and myself for the Oil Stream pregame show, followed by the postgame show immediately following all the action down there at Rogers Place. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons. First up, here's Zachticum with a sports update.
Raphael Lavoie has been reclaimed off waivers by the Edmonton Oilers after Vegas put him back on the wire yesterday. In their season opener, the Oilers play the Jets, and you could tune into EST tonight at 7 p.m. as Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas bring you the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Elsewhere, it's the Maple Leafs and Canadiens. Canucks hosting the Flames. Rangers seeing Crosby in the Pens before McKinnon and the Avs take on the Golden Knights. Russell Wilson of the Steelers was a full participant in practice for the first time since the start of the season, coming back from a calf injury. Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce has named Aiden O'Connell as a starter this week, placing Gardner Minshew to the bench. Right now, the Tigers are up 2-0 in the fifth against the Guardians, and later it's the Phillies looking to push a Game 5 against the Mets. Shohei Ohtani and his Dodgers then meet the Padres, while the Yankees battle the Royals. The final segment of EST Afternoons continues after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
780 is just another lame-ass, low-budget local shop. Homegrown right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 1,000 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
It's 2:44 Wednesday afternoon. It's game day finally. Edmonton Oilers, Winnipeg Jets. What do you think is going to go down there today in game 1? Are the Oilers going to win? Let us know. Nasty chat or text us 780-218-9999. I'm kind of torn on this one, Gage, right? Winnipeg's always a good test.
Yeah, I just sorry, I'm lost in that that music that we just. I feel like it's Crockett and Tubbs in a Ferrari in Miami right now.
I know, it's great.
It's great. I love that. Yeah. No, I expect a really, really hard fought game tonight.
Low scoring?
No, just because it's the start of the year, right? There's going to be a little bit of excitement, little nerves. You're probably going to see a few more mistakes than you would normally see, even from game 1 to game 2, I think, just for everyone to kind of settle in. I expect some pretty good chances, especially in that first period on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully. And I mean, when I look back to last year, there was a game right in Winnipeg, and the Oilers were kind of, there was just before the winning streak, I think, or this was part of it. And Skinner was coming off some okay performances, not great, but went up against Hellebuck. Hellebuck had shut the door the whole time, and Darnell Nurse shoots a blueberry muffin.
Yeah.
And it gets past Hellebuck somehow. And I think that was a real turning point for Stuart Skinner last year, just from beating Hellebuck in that fashion where he was battling and it looked like he couldn't get anything past Hellebuck. One goes in, Skinner shuts the door the rest of the game. Feeling good about yourself. I beat him. I can do anything. I don't think it's going to be a 2-1 game. I'm looking more along the lines of 4-3.
Okay. Chris G says, what a big day having a long drink, sitting at the cabin at Lac La Biche, Lake, listening to the best show, getting ready for the Oilers game. Oilers win 4-2. Zachticum, you got a prediction for tonight?
Well, I don't.
Or are you going to go Matthew Wanek and give us one?
Oh, I'll always give a prediction. I mean, I have guts, right?
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. He's getting shade for no reason. But
Wow.
I understand his reasoning for making or not making a prediction, because if you get it right, nobody cares, and if you get it wrong, really nobody cares unless you're against a team. And you might say that I'm against the Oilers with this pick, but I don't know. I think it'll take some time for the Oilers to gel together as a group, especially with the way they've changed their team around. It's not only minor changes. It's been significant changes, and I don't know. I got a 4-2 win for the Winnipeg Jets tonight. I'm sorry. I'm just saying that. You guys are going to hate me. I'm going to see the messages flood in, but that's my honest opinion, and I stay true to it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to lean Oilers. I think it's going to be a very close game, 1-goal game. I'm going to go 3-2.
What did I say? Fourth? Yeah, I think 5-3 empty netter Oilers. I think that the fact that, if you ask these guys, they probably had an eye on that Florida game last night and saw how they took care of business. There's a little extra motivation there.
Yeah, you don't want to come out and lay a stinker, especially because everybody's freaking out over the preseason.
Yeah, and no waves, please.
Yeah, don't do the wave.
Don't do the wave,
please. It's game 1. No wave at the Oiler game, or Hernan and Joaquin are going to be pretty damn upset. The wave should never come out unless you're up by 3, and it's at least 3 and late in the game, right, Gager? Those are the rules?
I think so. I haven't looked at the rule book in a while. But
I get called kind of what's the word? Like a Debbie Downer, because I don't like the wave. But I'm like, you can't do a wave when you're losing or when you're in a tie game. It's bad juju.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Like, you do it in the third, whatever. But early wave, well, maybe it's changed. Maybe that banner has gotten rid of the wave. So you know what? I'm going to change my stance on this. Do the wave and let's see what happens. All right, and then we can go from there.
Zach, I feel like you're a wave guy.
I don't know. I've heard some arguments against and for the wave, and sure, it adds a little bit of like fan commitment or whatever you want to call it, like support to the game. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the wave when, like you said, it's a tie game or it's very close. Even a 1 or 2 goal game, like still, I don't know, 30 minutes. Like it depends on the game. Sure, if you're at like a, I don't know, Blackhawks, Oilers, and it's 4-0 halfway through the first period. Sure, wave all you want, do whatever you want. You know, you're enjoying yourself. But when it's so tight, like just cheer, just cheer. That's all you need to do. I don't want people standing up in front of me, especially when I'm at the game. I can get fired up about that, but you know, maybe the reverse psychology could work. But no, I'm not a big wave guy.
And how much fun is the wave? Like people are like, oh, you don't like having fun? I'm like, well, how much fun is it waving your arms up? Like,
it's fun.
Man, I'm getting old, man.
I do the one-man wave at home all the time. My wife goes, what are you doing? The wave. And I'd stand there and shake the hips and go around the living room with my finger watching it. You know how you...
Oh, yeah.
She knows what time it is. Oh, yeah.
The one-man wave. I also, on the other side of it, like when a team's doing good, whatever team you support is doing well, yeah, of course you're going to cheer and be really loud. But say they're up 2-0 and let 2 quick goals in. You should cheer even louder to try and get into the game.
The other thing that I'd like to see the Oilers implement, and I know we're running out of time here, but you know how in some arenas it's like the 10-minute mark of the third period, there's a song that comes on, there's usually a TV break, and they come back to the game, they shut off, and everyone continues singing at that point.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I love the way it gets everyone involved, especially if your team's winning. But you got to find the right song. Don't do something that's done before.
Yeah, don't copy.
Don't copy. Like
find the song that works in Edmonton and that you start the trend. Because everybody does Bon Jovi. Everyone.
Yeah, done.
In the CFL, in the NHL, they do it everywhere.
Sweet Caroline.
That one too.
That one's a classic.
Like just find one. Be original.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a few songs that
could use All Gas No Brakes.
One day.
Yeah.
One day.
Lars says, Gager, you big romantic.
I know. Yeah.
Gager's got a
big heart,
a sweet side for sure. Please never sing Sweet Caroline again. That's from Jeremy.
No.
No, like what song would work that the Oilers fans can start at Rogers Place? Let us know.
Like for them to sing, or
yeah, like they're
the
playing
DJ?
it. They're playing the DJ's playing it, and then once the play starts, they continue to sing it a cappella, right?
Well, I wanted to say. I mean, there's Enter Sandman, of course. One,
but that's more beat, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just getting the bass and the drums there, right? So it's got to be a song. Like I loved when the Blues did Gloria. Like that was awesome.
I mean, that was cool.
But that was like a win song. The Oilers have La Bamba, which is fantastic. But
there's that song. Is it called? Is it from Fun? We Are Young lyrics. I think it gets to a certain point where everyone's kind of singing "We Are Tonight, We Are Young, and we can do it forever." I think that would. Everyone's nicely lubricated at that point. I think that could be a fun song.
Blaze of Glory from Joel. Don't Stop Believing. But I find like Stop Believing's been done so many times.
Yeah. No, we need something new. Need something new.
Gregor says 6-2 for the Oilers. Tube Sock says there's no place for the wave ever, anywhere. Sunny D says, I want to see a double wave.
The double wave looks cool.
And then Gager, do you yell wee as you do the lonesome wave? Tube Sock says Motorhead Overkill. I got to hear it. I have no idea what.
Motorhead is so good. It's insane. It's super heavy, super heavy. One that I found, though, I just thought of just because of the title and in the lyrics, if you're a country fan, you'd know this song, Something in the Orange, Zach Bryan, but it's a little bit too mellow, and the lyrics aren't really about like, yeah, let's get after it. It's kind of.
But you want a song that like pumps people up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like something that people are going to stand up and sing and dance to.
And everyone just takes over. So it's.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll talk to my people.
What I keep searching, because I don't think genre really matters. As long as it's something that's vibing with the crowd, right? That's going to get the people going.
No, you need something. And I mean, maybe there's two different ones.
Yeah, of
you
course.
want a euphoric one if the game's like going well and it's kind of out of reach, and the pump up one.
This one's
I mean, a little Enter Sandman at 10 minutes in the third always get everyone fired up.
White Horse. I think I've heard that. Yeah, that's a good conversation though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we got to figure out a song here for sure. We got to figure out.
Lionel Richie would be good.
All night long.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now we're getting
Nate
somewhere.
the Builder had Dancing on the Ceiling, but all night long, that might. Let's see what we can do.
And you put the lyrics up on the Jumbotron, right? So if people that don't, because not everybody's going to know every song they play.
I mean, if you're able, everyone should be standing up.
VR Montenegro says, Steal My Sunshine, Len. That's a good one. No Diggity from X-Ray. Yeah, Jay, that's a good one. Kyle Mitchell, yes, anything Creed. No.
I mean, yeah, no, I don't know. It would be fun.
Nickelback.
Oh, You Remind Me, that song? That would be a good one to sing.
Yeah, you need something that's, I still think, what are those lyrics? Let me see these lyrics.
Penner's Pancake says, honestly, 5 minutes left in the third, Oilers up by 2, and Trooper comes on. Always a classic.
Yeah. Yeah. What is?
I kind of want something newer. And by newer, I don't mean the last 5 years, but like, not 70s or...
I don't know, man. I like
80s
this.
would be good, but it has to be the right song.
The chorus of the fun song, it's great. So hold on. Tonight, we are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. I think you get I don't know. We'll see.
Avicii, maybe?
Avicii.
Ooh. There's so many great songs that you really have to take a deep dive and take some time and find it.
Because you don't want to be copycats. You want something fresh, new. I mean, even you want to see Stuart Skinner bobbing his head, singing it too at the same time. Like you want catchy.
This is a good. Callan St. Albert says they were doing Shania in the finals. Yeah, that was good because that came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right.
That did.
The Killers.
Because she was here though.
Yeah,
she was at
the Killers. All these things I've done.
Killers is good.
Queen of Memphis by Kentucky Headhunters. Get Local. Something from The Whale and the Wolf. That'd be great. Twisted Sister. Back in Black, AC/DC from Bronx, the Boilermaker. Yeah, there's a lot. It's too bad we're running out of time here. Quickly, this day in sports history, the LA Kings retired Wayne Gretzky's 99 in 2002.
Really? Is it league-wide retired?
Yeah, but they did their own little thing.
Okay.
In the year 2000, Brett Hull scored his 611th goal to pass his dad. And in 1974, the Washington Capitals played their first NHL game.
They sucked for a while there.
They did. Yeah, homework for the Nasties. Let's find a song.
Let's find the song that
the faithful can sing at Rogers Place when the Oilers are feeling good and up by 2 or 3. And let's not go with the things that's been done already.
No. Find something that you know hasn't been done.
For sure.
Or you'll get mocked.
Big shout out to Sara Orlesky for joining us from the Winnipeg Jets. YouTube, Trev, Zachticum, Joaquin Gage. It's game day, Oilers, Jets, 8 o'clock. Coming up next, the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Oil Stream pregame show at 7 with Tom Gazzola, Matt Cassian, and myself. For Joaquin Gage and Zachticum, I'm Hernan Salas. This has been EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk tomorrow. Ciao.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website, edmontonsportstalk.com.